Hey, I think we can get started, right? Although I cannot see how many people join. Let's wait for 20 seconds, maybe. Perfect. I think we can get started. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on immutability through flexibility. So you can see on my screen, actually, we renamed it as like a flexible immutability, which is for short for my poor English, actually. And we are going to talk about the comprehensive protection with DPX vStor. I'm your host today, and my name is Dali. You can call me Da as well. And I lead the product marketing in Catalogic. So I'm so delighted to welcome Martin as well. You probably already know him, our field CTO. You want to say hi to everyone, Martin?
Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping on another great webinar.
Yeah, we before we call it AMA, ask me anything. Today is still like for everyone, you can ask anything about the immutability, including the DPX, DPX vStore. You probably know DPX, but not with very familiar with vStore. So, we will focus on the immutability today. And yeah, we are delving into a concept that's on the tip of everyone's tongue in the IT world. So a lot of people, believe me, a lot of people search about immutability. It's a term that's often discussed in different forms, different like articles, medium, like Reddit. A lot of people ask the definition of it, but not many people ask about how to achieve it, how to do it. So today we are going to talk about the immutability and what's the key element we think is most important for immutability. Okay, Martin, I guess you talk a lot of immutability to me recently and like last year as well. So what's your definition of immutability?
Yeah. So I take a rather textbook definition of immutability, right? That which cannot be changed, right? And we know that life is ever changing constantly, right? But there are things that we can do and users can do to make things as immutable as they possibly can, right? Which might entail, let's say, securing permissions or making attributes of files lockable. So we're talking from a technology perspective, we're talking about taking these precautions about uh, securing that much further this level of immutability, or actually getting to the point where things that shouldn't change cannot change. And that's really the whole idea behind this call, is to introduce you to some of the functionality that we've introduced into our product to make our snapshots and our data points immutable, meaning that they can't be deleted. They're essentially object locked, right? It's the same uh, terminology or functionality that you have, let's say, in your cloud object storage vendors like Wasabi, for example. You're able to lock a snapshot in place and have prevent anyone from tampering with it. And that's what we're going to show.
Hmm. Okay. So basically, our story of the immutability is all around the vStore. Is that right?
Exactly right. So we built vStore as our software-defined storage backup destination, and we realized that storing snapshots and storing data protection points on vStore, we need to secure it as much as possible. So we've built this immutability functionality along with vStore, make it that much more secure.
Perfect. Yeah. Talk about secure. You can see my background. I actually bring some logs here. Yeah. I asked a
Nice.
ChatGPT to do
That's really
that.
cool. Oh, nice. That's pretty
Yeah. We need
amazing.
to integrate with that AI, right? So let's let's hear directly from our partners about their experience with vStor, because before today or before this month, we don't talk about a lot on flexible immutability a lot, but the people actually find that vStor, Chris Matthews from Orbit, he said that secure your backup environment with the Logical DPX vStor and uncomplicated high performance and the backup destination with advanced security features like encryption and immutability. So yeah, and also building replication for robust data protection and redundancy. So I believe for Chris Matthew, the encryption and the immutability make a lot of sense and help him a lot. Another partner, Michael Hecker from is for IT. He said that Catalogic's mission is to simplify the backup storage and the protection of data. Catalogic DPX offers secure data protection and a unique platform like with flexible, reliable, and powerful features paired with a simple and understandable license model. Yeah, quote unquote, I think license model quite important. vStor software-defined storage architecture is flexible and provides a hardware-independent storage infrastructure, giving you the freedom to choose any storage vendor, model, or type. So this is pretty important. I will ask Martin later. Particularly noteworthy is the catalog support, the accessibility, the knowledge, and the friendliness of the employees, and also the fast and uncomplicated support, even without long formality and waiting times. So I believe for this part, actually for Martin, I got a question about the software-defined storage architecture. Do you think it's very important for immutability, or it's some kind of technology can really help our customers?
Oh, absolutely. So being software defined allows you to define your own compute and storage, making this platform storage agnostic, right? And I think that's what users are moving towards. It is something that they can move, shift, migrate, and also change with the times, right? While at the same time having that flexible immutability, right? So you might have one storage hardware, you might want to decide that you move to another storage vendor. You're still going to possess that level of immutability because it's all been software defined. But I wouldn't discount some of the other topics that were mentioned here as well from a security standpoint, right? So I think you mentioned encryption in another quote replication between two vStor servers. This is the type of functionality that we're listening to our users and our audiences, what they're looking to see when they decide on a platform for their backups, right? So we know that it needs dedupe compression, all the bells and whistles of all the different storage protocols, encryption, and now we have this immutability or this enhanced immutability in our vStor platforms that will prevent users from either accidentally or even intentionally deleting snapshots or doing malicious things to other backup snapshots that they shouldn't be doing.
Perfect. So yeah, we mentioned the software defined actually prevent from like a vendor lock, right? So that's another kind of lock, but it's not good.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
you don't want that vendor lock. In some cases, it's just a matter of waiting out the snapshot, but with regards to this whole software defined aspect, it's a pick and choose what you want your platform to be on.
Thanks, Martin. By the way, actually, when I first find this term of immutability, this is pretty pretty long word for me. And I find that if you search immutability in Google search, in Google image search, and you will find this. And a lot of people do meditation, I believe. And it's also in the meditation. So I'm not sure everyone's definition of immutability is same or not, but of course, immutability is some kind of top level of the meditation as well. I do meditation every day, but yeah, I never knows yet. But for catalogic, I mean, the most important part for us is uh, make sure our data protection is strong, and we try to make it affordable because it sounds very good immutability, but first you need to affordable and make it flexible, also covering all the bases. That's the all important part. So to us, immutability means first you need to make sure you can afford it. Second, you need to make it flexible to different environments, hardware, software, and different protocol and network. And of course, you need to make sure it's comprehensive. It's not just for part of your system, part of your environment. You got it, immutability, immutable backup. But except for that, you have vulnerability. So this could make some problem. So let's go to the first part of it. It's affordable. So for vStore, for DPX vStore, we make sure it has a affordable immutability. First, you can choose your own hardware, which is pretty important. A lot of people love different server vendors, different storage vendors, but everyone want to choose their own hardware, not depending on the software vendor, right? Especially for the backup parts. And the second, I think, important one is like you need to utilize the old servers and storage, especially for the storage, right? A lot of people have like a SAN storage, not storage, but you want to utilize the old ones. You say, okay, someday when we have the new storage, we need to put the current storage to backup storage. But you're probably not sure whether your backup system can be like compatibility with the old storage. So that could be another problem. And the last one, if you have DPX, actually you are free to use DPX vStore, so which makes our customers, our future customer, it's a free choice to use DPX vStore. So that's for the um, affordable part. So I will just skip. I don't want to have too much time to ask Martin. Let's focus on next one, flexible. So this is today's topic about the flexible immutability. First, like Martin said, it's a software-defined immutability. It's a software you can install on all the different storage and servers, which is also like we also support different protocols like NAS, like other Ethernet protocol, and also based on your current like a SAN storage, we also support it. And of course, about compatibility, which is also one of the important one because it's not just about like a hardware, it's also about a different kind of software. And yeah, for this part, Martin, do you have any? I may miss a lot of part of the flexible immutability or immutability through flexibility. So can you add some of your comments?
Yeah, I think the key here is it's immutable uh, by your choice, right? At times you might want to change the read-only aspect of the snapshot. Or you may want to delete or change the parameters of the snapshot or the contents of the volume. In this case, we can disable it through multi-factor authentication, right? But there's going to be layers of uh, or hoops that you're going to have to jump through in order to perform that operation, right? And this is part of the whole uh, building in. immutability through flexibility through these components, meaning if I, as user A, want to tamper with a snapshot from user B, I'm going to need to not only their login, but also I'm going to need a multi-factor authentication token that's going to allow me to delete that snapshot that they themselves logged, and I'm not going to have that information. And this is what's going to prevent users, even the admin user, from deleting the snapshot. And that's going to be key for having an on-prem storage appliance like vStor, right? A lot of folks that you hear talk about immutability control just due to the fact that they're off-prem, you don't have access to the resources, and we had to go about it through software just because our vStor server is going to be on-prem, and we're going to need to silo off the different users and accounts that are accessing that storage or could potentially be accessing that storage.
Yeah, you mentioned several times about like a snapshot, like different environments. Actually, I mean, a lot of people choose different platform, right? Someone like on-prem, someone like public cloud, and the different cloud providers, and also like some of our customers, especially for the Europe customers, they like tape library. Or they are forced to use tape library to keep long-term data. So flexible immutability is it really matters for them.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and that's all part of the 3-2-1 backup approach, right? Where we can
Yeah.
support these, a heterogeneous range of different architectures. And I think you're going to talk about that, or you might have a next slide on that as well. Yep.
I got this most important. I think it's similar important as flexible, comprehensive is pretty important, um, which means that all aspects data security are covered, which like a lot of people want to like back up to their tier one backup targets. Maybe it could be like a SSD, or maybe it could be like a hard disks, and they probably have another tier of backup for costs or for its like a long-term retention. And some of them they choose like a tape, some of them they choose replication to another place to for DRWise, the disaster recovery wise protection. And some of them they just want to put data on the cloud, and they want to migrate to cloud, or they want to like move data between cloud and on-prem. So I believe this could be help everyone to make their I'm not quite sure. Do you think this is possible, Martin? For every place is immutable.
I like the tags there where it says immutable every place, right? So and that is true, and that's the objective that most users are looking to get to, right? Because when I take a backup, I want to make sure that that backup is free from tampering, cannot be deleted, cannot be modified, right? So I think the two pieces that we're missing here from a backup target perspective is some of the immutable features that we're going to show in our vStor. Object lock, we had the compliance and governance mode that were we kind of mirrored in building our functionality for volume and snapshot lock. And then for replication, this type of flexibility where we already have replication built into vStor, and now you're able to choose, okay, well, I want to, let's say, back up to my initial volume target, but I want to lock all the copies on my replica target, and that's something that you can now do. Tape, of course, is immutable because you can only write to, it's a write once kind of read many type operation, where you can air gap it and archive that. So that's always been immutable in a sense, unless you destroy the tape, of course. But it's some of these key features that we'll show during the demo, a volume and snapshot lock, and the role-based access control that controls that.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess everyone will be seeing, oh, it's amazing. It looks so many tags and everywhere is immutable. And let's see how Martin's demo. And if you have any questions about immutability, including like Martin mentioned, some log, volume log, snapshot, and or any ideas about the 3-2-1 backup or air gap for tape, just leave your questions on chat, or we will have the end of the webinar, we will have a QA session as well. I will stop my share, Martin. Can you share the screen for the demo?
Yes. All right, let me know when you can see my screen there.
Yep, yep.
So I just have a real quick demo for you here showing you the how you would enable immutability and uh, turn on and off this flexible immutability concept. Here I have my desktop, and I'm actually logged into my vStor server. So vStor is the backup destination for DPX. For those of you who are using vStor as your backup destination, you probably realize at this point that it can do a lot more than just act as a backup destination. Do have some customers using it as their own primary storage devices as well, right? It's because it supports all the different storage protocols. This is all software defined. So you have a server, you deploy vStor on top of that server, and you're going to have the ability to not only have that backup destination, but have a primary storage source that you can serve up data from. But in my demo here, I'm going to show you some things that have been in the product um, and that we've just built on top of it, as well as some of the new features here from a immutability perspective. But you might know that we have multi-factor authentication built into the product. So you can enable multi-factor authentication and roll into just scan it in. Then everything that you do from a login perspective will require that key. We also have role-based access control, the ability to create a list of sub-users that have this have the ability to only manage and interact with the resources that are within the storage pools that they have access to, right? So you can define standard and admin users. Admin users get to see this admin portion of the screen where they're able to manage the system. Standard users will only see those resources that they have access to. So I'm logged in as admin, my admin user here on this screen. I'm logged in. Well, I was logged in, so let me go ahead and log back in. I think it timed out for me uh, as my personal user here, and I enabled multi-factor authentication here. So I'm just going to copy that code here and log into my device. So my user here is a standard user, but as a storage admin, this is pretty much all I need from a backup perspective, right? I want to manage the backups to my own volume, let's say. And in this case, I can just drill down into that volume here and take a look at some of the snapshots that have been created. So here I am running a backup job every day. It's creating backup snapshots for me on my volume. And now I want to make this volume immutable, prevent it from being tampered with or being modified, right? And that's just as simple as, enabling this flag here, where I can turn on or turn off the volume protection for my volume. This will prevent any changes occurring to that volume and lock it in place. And when I want to disable it, I just go and turn off immutability. It's going to ask me for my authentication token here, so I can supply that and now disable the protection, right? So it's pretty simple from a volume perspective. It's going to allow me to set up a replication workflow, and then let's say I want to prevent replications from occurring or lock that volume in place so that, let's say I'm infected with ransomware. I want to lock that volume in place and prevent my replica from being modified through a replication workflow. I can just simply enable that volume immutability, immutability button there. The other way in which I can enable immutability is at the snapshot layer itself. So each of these backup snapshots here is going to be a point in time picture of the server that I had backed up, right? So these are all my backup snapshots I run on a daily basis now. And let's say am hacked or I'm audited for legal compliance. I need to uh, ensure that none of these snapshots get deleted or modified. Now, with my standard backup workflow, Condense is going to be running on a daily basis. I'm going to be purging and deleting snapshots uh, just through normal operation of the DPX software. But at this point, because I received that request, I need to keep these snapshots. I need to prevent anyone from tampering with them or intentionally or accidentally deleting them. In this case, I just slide that button over for protect. And there are two methods I can use to protect that snapshot. One is the flexible protection where I can remove the protection period. Um, and then the other is fixed protection, where once I've set the retention, I'm not going to be able to touch a snapshot until that retention time is met. So it's kind of like object locking in the cloud, where you have compliance and governance modes, right? Where you can set level of protection on a particular snapshot and ensure that that snapshot is not deleted. So in this case, I want to use flexible protection because I want to enable and disable it at my leisure here. All I need to do is set a retention period on it. And let's say I set for 20 days here. So once that retention period is set, it's going to tell me that, okay, this is when the protection period is going to expire. At that point, the snapshot will go to unprotected and we'll be able to delete that snapshot. But notice here that I cannot delete this snapshot, right? I'm not able to delete the snapshot while the protection period is turned on. And even if I go under my admin user here and take a look at the snapshots within that volume. So as an admin user, I can see those snapshots. I cannot disable that protection feature unless I have access to that user's account or that user's authentication token there. So in this case, if I try to delete the snapshot, or if the DPX master server tries to delete the snapshot through its normal condense operations, it's not going to be able to. And this is where it's going to, you know, put it in queue. You might have seen I can't delete the snapshot because it's in use. You'll see in this case that the snapshot's not able to be deleted because it's being protected, right? So uh, we'll continue to try to delete the snapshot, and then when July 3rd rolls around, that snapshot will be deleted. In this case, if I want to disable the protection on it, I can just go under my login account here and then supply the necessary authentication token from MFA to uh, disable that protection. And now I can do with that snapshot as I want to, either delete it or run restores from it, et cetera. So that's the whole key behind this flexible immutability aspect of vStore, right? Where we want you to be able to decide where and when you want to add this additional layer of protection, and you can enable it by default, right? Just by turning on volume protection, having the entire volume inherit, or having all the resources within the volume inherit uh, the protection at the parent level.
Yeah, it looks pretty easy to use. I think even if me, I can operate these buttons, little buttons to enable the protection. The only problem is I already have a lot of MFAs, so we need to manage that well.
Absolutely, yeah. I like using this application here rather than jump to my phone. It's all my keys are stored in my
Yeah.
browser.
All right. So that's the demo, right, Martin?
Yes, that's what I want to show in the demo there, and this
Yeah,
is
anyone, if you
going to be
have any
available in vStore.
questions about the demo, about the interface, just ping me directly. And I got a question. Um, is that is that very a normal behavior to do a lot of snapshot of these backups? So is that a best practice or just a suggestion?
So every time you do a backup, it's actually going to create a snapshot on vStor, right? So there's two components of vStor. There's the actual backup data that you have, and then we store that footprint as a snapshot. And a snapshot in this case is just a collection of pointers pointing to the data blocks within the volume. If you've ever used any type of storage hardware, right, network touch storage system or SAN, you're going to find the same, you know, capabilities where you can present up LUNs, you can create snapshots at will, right? And that's just going to be, that picture point in time of the volume listed there. So, and then from there you can protect those snapshots through that immutability feature.
Got it. Thanks, Martin. Can you get back my
Yep,
sharing? Thank you. Let me let me share again. Let me know if you see my screen.
I can see it. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, just like Martin said, we can do like a volume log, we can do snapshot log, even the replicated one, the snapshot log, and protect by MFA. And also, of course, we can do object log from very down tango. And like our great partner, Wasabi, some of our users choose to backup data to Wasabi Cloud storage for the performance, for the cost effective. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions about like a backup to tape, backup to S3. These are all very important. But actually, I think we just focus on the backup target today. So what about the backup source? This could be another question, right, Martin? So what do you think from the backup source or from the backup duration during the backups? How can we protect from like different ransomware or some hackers, things like that?
Right. So we have a feature out today called guard mode, DPX guard mode, which is essentially an agent that is running on the server and looking at activity that is uh, going to violate some threshold or block list or honeypot violation, a ransomware signatures. That guard mode feature is in the product today. You can go ahead and download the guard mode agent to monitor and govern the file system on your source to prevent ransomware from even being introduced into the system.
Great. So I heard from the latest press release that actually we can nowadays do the pre-backup ransomware detection by guard mode. Also, we can do a post-backup, like during the backup, we can do the security scan as well. So this is pretty exciting to me. We already exceed like 3 minutes today, so we leave this in the future webinars, maybe next one. So looking forward to everyone join. And at last, I think, yeah, we as CatLogic, we already help a lot of customer protect their data for over 25 years. And if you have any questions about DPX, DPX vStor, immutability, and you can contact us like through the left QR code to get the PowerPoint or ask any question about it. Or if you want to trial guard mode or DPX vStor, or you just a newer to us, you request a demo or trial for DPX, you can scan the right QR code. Um, so thank you everyone. If you have any questions, we have the QA session. You can leave the questions to us. All right. So far, I think a lot of thank you, but then no one asked a question so far. Still, we are looking forward to your contact us, and yeah, let's see you next month. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Martin.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.